Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The UK anti-doping agency, known as Ukad for short, is refusing to release information on therapeutic use exemptions for boxers in the UK. It is refusing to confirm or deny if Anthony Joshua has been granted a therapeutic use exemption or TUE, which is allowed in certain circumstances where a boxer can have a banned substance in their system for a specific reason. So in this video, which forms a joint investigation between Boxing Squared YouTube channel and Right Hook Boxing, I will go through the questions asked of Ukad and the answers given, and the reasons Ukad have relied on to deny releasing information, chiefly related to privacy. Buckle in. Let's go. In a Freedom of Information Act request, Ukad was asked 6 questions. How many boxers have applied for a therapeutic use exemption in the past 3 calendar years and also year to date? How many of those applications were approved? What types of prohibited substances were approved? Please explain the process to assess applications and what processes are involved. Does Anthony Joshua have any TUEs in place currently, and if so, what? Since Anthony Joshua turned pro in 2013, how many TUEs has he been granted by Ukad, and if so, what for and when? In its summary of response, Ukad has released some information, but most of the questions asked by Boxing Squared YouTube channel and Right Hook Boxing have been refused. So section 2 here, Ukad is disclosing the information in part of D of your request, and that is in relation to processing applications and the process involved. So that is more a procedural issue. There is no data per se there, so that is why there is no issues with releasing that. Section 3 here, Ukad is not disclosing the information in parts A to C of your request. The detail of the basis for this response is set out below, so we will go check that out here. Ukad confirms it holds the information requested. However, we are withholding this information under the exemptions provided in sections 21, 40 and 41 of the Act, and this is the Freedom of Information Act. So section 21. This relates to data protection principles. And the one that really stands out here, which is used and relied on heavily throughout the response, is 21C. Whether there is a legitimate public interest in the disclosure, Ukad recognizes the importance of transparency and accountability in general, both in terms of the public confidence that this inspires and also providing the public with the ability to examine decisions taken in particular cases. On the other hand, Ukad has taken account of the fact that disclosure would contravene the rights of athletes who have applied for a TUE to have confidentiality of that information respected pursuant to the terms of the rules, and this is of the different TUE guidelines. I think one of them is a wider one there. In this particular case, Ukad does not consider that there is an overriding legitimate public interest in disclosing the information requested. In relation to parts E and F of your request, Ukad neither confirms nor denies whether it holds the information requested. So these are the specific questions related to Anthony Joshua. Does he have any TUEs in place? And if so, what? Since he turned pro in 2013, how many TUEs has he been granted by Ukad? And if so, what for and when? The detail of the basis for this response is set out below. Please note that this neither confirm nor deny response to your request should not be taken as an indication that the information you requested is or is not held by Ukad. So going down to parts E and F, the response here. Ukad neither confirms nor denies that it holds the information requested pursuant to sections 40 and bracket 5B of the Act. This is because the information requested existed would be considered personal data, as outlined in paragraph 21 above. Section 40 and in bracket 5B of the Act states, in respect of personal data, the duty to confirm or deny does not arise in relation to other information or if to the extent of the following applies, giving a member of the public the confirmation or denial that would have to be given to comply with section 1 bracket 1 bracket A bracket would, apart from this act, contravene any of the data protection principles. In this respect, Ukad adopts the reasoning set out in paragraphs 20 and 21 above, neither to confirm nor deny whether it holds the information requested. For the avoidance of doubt, please be reminded that neither confirm nor deny, yada yada, we heard that before. And then it goes on to say, if dissatisfied, you can apply for an appeal to them, and then obviously to a higher body to get a review. So before I get into a few thoughts on this refusal of information, it's worth going through, which was question D, please explain the process, because there's some information in here that I'd like to go through. If UKAD were to confirm whether an individual athlete has or has not made a TUE application, this could have an unfairly adverse impact on the reputation of the athlete and or lead to speculation about the use of prohibited substance for performance-enhancing purposes rather than legitimate medical purposes. If UKAD were to release certain statistical information about TUE applications, such as the number of applications and details of the substance approved for sports such as boxing with a relatively low number of athletes required to make TUE applications, this could identify athletes who have applied for a TUE and or information around the TUE applied for / granted. Further information about which athletes are required to submit TUE applications, including in advance of being tested, is outlined on the UKAD website. In the interest of transparency and accountability, previously published information about TUE applications. However, UKAD no longer provides this specific information for the reasons set out in paragraph 10 above, which is explained below. So there is some limited information on TUEs, this is for all TUEs, for all sport, that UKAD has on its website, but that only goes to a point. So there is some stuff that is pre a date in 2016, but after that, information has not been provided. So UKAD does hold information related to therapeutic use exemptions for any boxer that has applied for one, but it is refusing to release the information, primarily because of privacy of data reasons. Confidentiality to the athlete is here paramount from what UKAD is saying. It is saying that it outweighs any public interest in this matter, which I think for many, some will agree with that, but also there is a case to say that with boxing, if boxers are on therapeutic use exemptions, certain substances and that sort of thing, given what's going on, the sort of current landscape, that there is a legitimate public interest in this topic at the moment. I mean, with Jarrell Miller just recently failing a test, a number of other failed tests have been happening. Anthony Joshua himself is being accused of legally gaming the system. This is the accusation. Dillian White is saying that he is being allowed to legally juice through the therapeutic use exemption system that UKAD does run. So he is accusing Joshua of doping, but just been given the tick to do so by UKAD. And this is not the first time that Joshua has had those claims levelled at him. Jarrell Miller, back at the February 20th press conference, also alleged the same thing, that Joshua had TUEs granted to him and he was on stuff, but legally. And that was what prompted this request, this joint investigation by Boxing Squared and Right Hook Boxing. Miller's accusation. So we wanted to actually go to UKAD to find out, was there something actually in this? Was Anthony Joshua actually on something as has been alleged? But we are unable to find out because of the provisions that UKAD has relied on in its response, which primarily is related to privacy grounds. So this is a situation where UKAD is refusing to release information more broadly on TUEs, but also specifically in relation to Joshua, neither confirming nor denying. And in that stance, it is actually maybe not doing Joshua any favors here, because obviously it's trying to protect his privacy, and it says it doesn't want to fuel speculation about an athlete being on a substance, but in its denials to release any information, even anonymized more broadly, of latest sort of information that would be available to be released, it's actually fueling speculation through the response, I believe. So this is a situation where I think this will be appealed by myself and Right Hook Boxing, because obviously we believe there's a legitimate public interest for information to be released. But at the moment, UKAD's stance is any information related to more recent therapeutic use exemptions will not be released on privacy grounds, and that also relates to Anthony Joshua. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.